Skoda Karoq 2017 review. From £14,245. 8. The Yeti has morphed into the Karoq for its second generation, and this early drive reveals a solid, practical crossover that could challenge the class best. What is it? The new Skoda Yeti isn't actually a Skoda Yeti anymore. That's right, one of the last beacons of creativity in the naming of cars has gone out, replaced by the name of some far-flung tribe somewhere in Alaska, to give us the Skoda Karoq. Skoda had a hit on its hands with the Yeti. It was an early arrival in the crossover world, with enough quirkiness to mask its obvious compromises and shortcomings. It was likable, a bit different, and sold well right to the end of its life. Its replacement, the Karoq, is something altogether more conventional, not just because of its name. It's effectively Skoda's version of the Sitka and upcoming Volkswagen T-Roc. It's grown slightly in size over the Yeti in all departments, chiefly for the benefit of interior passengers, and in true Skoda style ends up with a boot much bigger than that of its chief rival, the Nissan Qashqai. You can play a game of VW Group MQB bingo with a lot of its spec. There are 5 engines in the range, all direct injection turbocharged units with EU6 emissions compliance, starting with a 3-cylinder 1.0 TSI unit with 113 bhp to a range-topping 2.0 TDI with 187 bhp. 4 of the 5 engines offered on the Karoq or not offered on the Yeti. Front-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual gearbox are standard, with all-wheel drive and a 7-speed dual-clutch auto offered with certain engines. Hidden under the camo of the development car we've been granted an early drive-in is a look inspired by the larger 7-seat Kodiaq SUV in Skoda's growing range of SUVs. We'll get to see the finished package on 18th of May. What's it like? It should be of no surprise that the Karoq provides a driving experience familiar from that of other MQB-based SUVs, albeit tuned to a more Skoda-friendly flavor. So the suspension has a softer setup than the TK, which manifests itself in offering a better ride than its firmer Spanish sibling at higher speeds. It handles large compressions and long-wave undulations well, but soft does not always mean comfortable. The low-speed ride is inconsistent, with the car fidgeting on all but the smoothest of surfaces. Our test car was fitted with the standard passive dampers, which do a poor job of isolating occupants from scarred surfaces. The fact that Skoda has sped up development of the optional dynamic chassis control adaptive dampers to fix this issue is telling, and they should be available at the launch of UK cars, if not soon after. The softer setup means more body roll through the corners. As for the steering, it is very light when left in the normal driving mode. Switching over to the sport mode adds more resistance, but it still feels over-assisted and remote. There is also noticeable suspension noise, which fast seems to be becoming a Skoda trait. Our test car was equipped with the lower-powered 148 bhp version of the familiar 2.0 TDI engine. It's wanting for little to suggest you'll need to trade up to the 187 bhp range topper. It's brisk in a straight line once you're over the initial hesitation of the optional DSG gearbox before shuffling nicely through the gears. It's a very tractable engine, and impressively refined. Certain 4-wheel drive versions of the Yeti can also claim a mite of off-road ability. Selecting the off-road mode activates hill descent control and keeps the car in a low gear. The car feels more capable off-road than a Peugeot 3008 with a similar setup, but it would be wrong to call it an off-roader with its limited group clearance and wheel articulation. Conquering a muddy field it can do, though, and that'll be fine with its owners. They'll also be very pleased with the interior of the Karoq, which is one of its real highlights. The design of the interior has much greater differentiation to that of its MQB siblings. The star is the addition of the digital instrument technology known elsewhere in the VW Group as the VW Actrive Info Display and Audi Virtual Cockpit. It has made it into the Skoda Karoq as the imaginatively named digital instrument panel, and provides key driving, navigation and infotainment info in the instrument binnacle. Elsewhere inside, the build quality is impressive, and the overall design and layout is inspired by the larger Kodiaq. This is a good thing. Being a Skoda, rear space and boot space have been a priority. It has lashings of both, the space under the front seats for rear passengers a particularly nice touch. The removable VarioFlex rear seats from the Yeti make it over to the Karoq, and the boot space is class-leading, starting at 488 liters and growing to a maximum 1810 liters in full van mode. Should I buy one? The Karoq is likely to prove a winner off the back of the fact it does the things that all other Skodas do well to make them a success, by being better value than its rivals and offering more space. The Karoq already ticks the spaciousness box, and the indications are from insiders that the Karoq will actually undercut the Yeti, and come in at a very competitive £17,770. It's a shame some of the originality has been lost, and not just in the name, but, firm ride aside, buyers are unlikely to find anything to be put off by. The MQB train rolls on. Location: Tallinn, Estonia, on sale, late 2017, price, from £17,770, estate, engine, size 4 cells, 1968cc, diesel, power, 148 bhp at 3,500 to 4,000 revolutions per minute, torque, 251 pounds-foot at 1,750 to 3,500 revolutions per minute, gearbox, 7-speed dual-clutch auto. 0 to 62 miles per hour, 8.7 seconds, top speed, 131 miles per hour, fuel economy, 56.5 miles per gallon, CO2/tax band, 132 grams/km, 28%, rivals, Sitka, Nissan Qashqai.